towards decarbonization efforts and optimize asset values? What is the magic trick? While a detailed discussion of the above questions can last hours, let me give you a general idea in 5 minutes. What is sustainable recycling? We define sustainable recycling. It is also known as green recycling. It's also known as responsible recycling. But the bottom line is that sustainable recycling is all about recycling ships safely and responsibly in accordance with IMO's soon-to-come into force Hong Kong Convention guidelines. It aims to protect the environment from pollution, safeguard workers' health and safety, and carefully dispose of hazardous materials, and finally, maximize the asset value. It is important to note that the residual value, we call in the business scrap value, is vital, since sustainable ship recycling cannot exist without economic value. Does ship recycling play a role in the global climate change narrative? The simple answer is yes. The world has woken up to the problems of climate change and CO2 emissions. You go to any shipping conference and you hear the words like decarbonization, net zero, carbon neutrality, circular economy, etc. These words have become the part of our business vocabulary today. As we know, the three major contributors to greenhouse gas emissions are, number one, production of energy, electricity, industrials, which is manufacturing of steel, and number three is transportation. These are three factors that contribute to the majority of the greenhouse gas emissions. Therefore, if we can reuse or recycle steel, we reduce the demand for electricity. By reducing the demand to manufacture steel from iron ore and reduce the need to transport coal and iron ore. Maybe the ship owners don't want to hear this. Now, ship recycling plays a significant role in achieving all three of the fundamentals of the circular economy, which leads us to the final question: how does recycling in India contribute towards decarbonization efforts and optimize asset values? What is the secret sauce? As you know, India is the world's largest green recycling country. It has more than 110 Hong Kong compliant recycling yards. As someone in the last 30 years having visited shipyards globally from China to Turkey to US, I can say without hesitation that selling ships, both the country in the world does a better job than turning scrapping into recycling than India, and turning regular steel into green steel. More importantly, Indian yards again do this by providing the highest scrap value to the ship owners, which I said earlier is critical because there can be no sustainable recycling without economic value. So what makes ship recycling in India sustainable and ESG compliant? Simply stated, as Shri Beniwal said, is the reuse and recycle. In India, a remarkable 97% of the ship materials can be recycled or repurposed. 97%. Here's how. 90% of the ship is made of steel. Steel has a lifelong lifespan. 4% of the ship is about machineries, like main engines, pumps, and other mechanical devices. 1% of the ship is non-ferrous items, such as copper, aluminum, brass, bronze, stainless steel, etc. And 1% is furniture and fixtures, which is things like wooden panels, doors, beds, etc. So in India, out of this 90% of the steel, 70% of the steel is rerolled, not melted, rerolled. 10% is considered profile plates that go repurposed into flanges and angles. And only 10% is designated as melting scrap or electric arc furnaces. Now in comparison, 85% of the steel in European yards is generally exported to Turkey as steel scrap that goes into induction furnaces. An exceedingly small percentage is re-rolled and hardly any is reused. Herein is the secret sauce. This is the single biggest factor why Indian yards can offer almost $300 per ton more than the countries in Europe. On the size of a Panamax container, this equates to about $6.5 million more. That's a lot of money. Additionally, reusing this steel saves CO2 emissions and attaches more significant value to steel by eliminating an extra layer of energy, heavy energy consuming activities like transportation of iron scrap. Going further, the same steel that we're talking about, 1 ton of recycled steel saves about 1.1 tons of virgin iron ore. 1 ton saves roughly more than 1.1 tons of iron ore. It saves about 642 kilowatts of energy, 1.8 barrels of oil, 4 cubic yards of landfill, and this goes on and on. As Mr. Keniwal said, more than 8,500 ships have been recycled in the land. You know, there's about 62 million tons of steel that Alan has recovered. That's enough steel to make about 8,500 Eiffel Towers. It's a lot of steel. The wood that has come out of these ships, in 10 years, about 50,000 tons of wood has been recovered from recycling of ships in the land. This wood has been reused directly in the interiors of homes, offices, and other commercial spaces. This has saved about 440 football fields of forest cover and has captured about 1,500 tons of carbon dioxide. A lot of big numbers. Non-ferrous metals, about 140,000 tons of expensive non-ferrous metals, which has a premium value. All of these examples demonstrate simply one thing: the economic value and sustainability of ship recycling in India cannot be matched by any other country. But that's not all. That's not all. Unlike Europe, where yards can get automatically on the list of EU-approved yards by being simply in Europe, without any audits from class societies, in India, ships are recycled safely in an environmentally friendly manner under the spotlight of world's leading 5 IX class societies, 2 of them are at least on the stage today, and supervised by many leading auditing agencies hired by shipbuilding. So what about the waste? Again, Shipbuilding said 20.5% of ships waste. This is identified via IHL, safely removed by trained workforce equipped with PPEs, transported securely to the government-controlled certified waste disposal site, and disposed according to international norms and standards. This entire process is also supervised and audited by trained personnel. So in conclusion, over 25 years, ship recycling, which was initially known as what Dr. Martin Stoper calls the 3 Ds, dirty, dangerous, and depressive. This was 25 years ago. In the last 15 years, the ship recycling industry has changed. With the assistance of Indian government, regulators, IMO, especially Norway and Japan, Indian yards took the initiative to go green following the guidelines of HKC. Starting with 4 yards in 2015, which obtained Class NK statement of compliance. Today, 111 yards are HKC compliant. This is an increase of 2,675% in only 8 years. This kind of growth is unprecedented. The world needs India's recycling capacity, and the world needs India's purchasing power. Without India's ship recycling industry, the world fleet would have limited sustainable ship recycling options. Without India, national governments may have to resort to desperate measures, such as the scuttling of the aircraft carrier Sao Paulo in Brazil earlier this year, an environmental nightmare of epic proportions, or the abandoning of old vessels, polluting our seas, decaying ghost fields, a dramatic increase in shipping costs, and a negative impact on water trade. Ladies and gentlemen, therefore, I earnestly hope that Europe eliminates EU ship recycling regulation, and once HKC comes into force in less than 2 years, there is one standard by which sustainable recycling is done. I applaud the Indian and Gujarat governments for supporting this critical industry in the maritime world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us the data where the sustainable recycling, the core element is the steel can be infinitely recycled. The ship recycling in India has modeled on the core element of recycling the steel. And now, like Syria, Ship Recycling Association of India, one of the oldest and most influential associations of India, If you work with them for the last 6 years, definitely I can tell you that they are the most efficient. I would like to invite Shri Harish Kumar Pangaji, Honorable Secretary of Syria, to please give his presentation. Please.
Thank you, sir. Our CEO, Mr. Rajkumar Bajwar, sir, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank you, Shipping Ministry, to give us the opportunity to express our thoughts over here. Yeah, today I am giving our strength, achievement and challenges what we have faced in the last 5 years. Next. This is the diagram. You can see that our 111 yards are compliant with the class HKC certification. This is class NK, RINA, IR, BB, Lloyd. This all classification society are working with the ship recycling industry. Now, 27 ports have been applied for the EU list, and out of them 5 has been audited also. But due to some registration problem with the EU and our Indian government, they are withheld with that, and we hope so they will solve as early as possible. All facilities are approved, mandatory SRM and SSTP for each ship. IHM prepared by the master of the ship. The ship masters not provide, then an expert will prepare the IHM, and it is not available from owners. We develop infrastructures, procedure for effective compliance of HKC, adopt modern equipment and technology for safety and environment protection, special training and drills for the ship, concern specialty like asbestos removal, evacuation emergency, regular supervision at all stages, daily toolbox talks, and weekly safety meetings we are consulting as per the HKC norms. This is our achievement we have achieved within the last 5-7 years. Regular issuance of permit and reporting all incidents, accidents to all government authorities. Adopting portion of impermeable flooring and effective drainage system to handle the dirty docks and machinery, resulting stopping and minimize leakage while we are cutting the ship. All yards are now impermeable flooring, so minimize the leakage. We are in independent zone we are doing. Develop mass awareness amongst our workers for safety environment by audio and visual training. Sustainable approach, mindset for continuous improvement. You can see that in the last 5 years we are improving our yard continuously. Whatever we are getting the suggestion from government as well as the classification society, we are always about that and improving our yard. Capable to recycle all types of ship. Mandatory insurance coverage to all like ESSC, EF and other benefits. We have a multi-speciality hospital started from March 2019, operated by Red Cross and GMIS. Upgradation to fulfill remaining facility like trauma center, fully equipped operation theatre is in progress. We have a labor housing colony, phase 1, under operation from 2018. Further, we are planning to leverage the housing colony in front of the yard under the consultation with local authority and GMIS. Because we can get the labor colony in front of the yard, so we can develop our secondary yard also, and we can take our waste power for labor, whatever the ship recycling owners is concerned. Based on all ship recycling countries in Southeast Asia, equipped with 2 operated ESDF site, hospital, housing for workers, capacity with HKG 2000 compliance. Our future for the patient safety concern is safety measure is concerned. We are planning with the offshore tank cleaning equipment, grass clean at our Mount anchorage before the ship is coming for recycle. PG cleaning machine, we are planning for that. Mobile decontamination unit, we have 2 mobile decontamination which we are upgrading for latest mobile decontamination unit on onshore and yards. Upgradation of TSTF site and common facility, incinerator and secure landfill facility as per the EU norms. Our Gujarat Maritime Board and state government is working fully on that. This is the major challenges we are facing now. Undersupply of ship, no continuity. This is the biggest drawback of our industry. There is no supply of ship continuously. So whatever we have invested, whatever we have done in our facilities, that is not fully equipped all the time. Floating workforce, because labor are always floating, so we have to train labor again and again. HKC was struggling for cutting non-HKC because all owners are not sending their vessel in HKC compliance yard, because you have seen that 111 yard in HKC compliance. So we are always struggling when HKC, non-HKC ship is coming, we have to cut it by the HKC method, so it costs more and it will be difficult for us. Adopt approach and lack of enthusiasm by many ship owners, they aspire to provide an IHM, ready-to-use recycling facility. This is also a big challenge for us because we are not getting the IHL, so we have to prepare on that our yard only. Practices of lack of convenience, so they are sending their vessel to non-compliance HKC yard. That is also a big challenge. Owners setting their own standard, overreaching HKC 2009. Regional regulation of EU SRR, undermining global convention HKC 2009 by establishing their separate standard. They are controlling our yard up to downstream management as well out of the gate. That is the biggest challenge for us. EU effect over HKC. NGO perform, they are biased to our beaching method because it is accepted by the Hong Kong Convention also, but they are always biasing and they are always not accepting the beaching method. Question of survival, no recovery of investment. As I said, that is not a continuous business. Always we have to whatever the investment we have done, it is not recoverable. Viability on stage. Now only 25% yard are working at 50% capacity. This is the biggest challenge to us. EU list requested them to must cover the Indian yards because we are above the HKC level now. As 90% yard are HKC compliance, 27 yard are already been applied for the EU, so we request them to must cover the Indian yards. Misinterpretation of HKC by different ISES members. This diagram you can see that there is a comparison between the Hong Kong Convention, EU SRR and our Ship Recycling Code 2013, which is a mirror image of Hong Kong Convention, which we have already adopted before the Hong Kong Convention is coming to the force. So main problem we are facing that this is a domestic mandatory regulations, recycling code. There is a global convention for voluntary ratification by state, it is HKC. EU is a regional regulation for EU flag and owner of ship. This is the major problem with that. Domestic legislation at top in our SRC. HKC, the same thing, while the EU demand more than domestic legislation. We have, though I have said that 27 yard have been applied, out of them few have been got the reply from the EU that we have to change our legislation, that is transboundary of the movement of this west. Once they have to change the legislation, then only it can become to the coast like that. This is also a major, so many, like the allowed intertidal zone, falling off the block, gravity method, primary cutting in intertidal zone, operate on regular plot area, limited impermeable floor, winches block. But then also we are doing all this which can be possible with our Indian regulation and with our cycling yard. We are doing that. We are operating more and more. But whatever the legislation and the approach, they are controlling outside of the gate. That is the very biggest challenge to us. So we are requesting to all ship owners to send their vessel in HKC yard instead of working on the EU. This is for future ahead. We need a support from the world ship owners, recognize effort method by Indian voluntary adoption of HKC. We have capacity to demolish 70% of the world fleet. Promote ship owners to send their ship and voluntary to HKC yard, sustainable approach to growth. Shipbuilding yard, repair yard, don't use hazardous material. In this event, we can request our authorities to tell them don't use hazardous material, so we can use them less paint and replace them to time of the dry docking and every 5 years. Assign minimum 3 to 5 years long-term association with the selected port and facility. Sir, we have invested huge amount in that. If owners come forward like that Mox and this MS is doing, they are working with the few yards for 5 years or 10 years, so we can invest more money and can upgrade our yard more and more up to the first level. Support from international community, we need a support needed from ship owners. Ship not diverted to less regulated yard. You can see that from last years, Bangladesh and Pakistan are they are doing more recycling than Indian yards. Why? Because we are always doing with the HKC compliance regulation, and they are doing without that. Then also they are getting more ship because ship owners are sending their vessel to non-regulated yard. Biggest thing is 5,000 ship owners in the world, 300 recycling yards, we have 111 Indian HKC yards. Only 15 to 20 ship owners are sending their ship into the scholarship recycling. This is the biggest challenge we are facing. Why 15 to 20 owners out of the 5,000 owners? Maximum owners should send their vessel into Indian ship recycling yard. Target to achieve Hong Kong Convention 2009 as early as possible. Based among all ship recycler countries, we give with TSTFs and all regulated facilities. This is our central government and state government have taken step during last 3 years after pandemic. Government, because we are facing a $35 to $50 gap between the non-regulated country like Pakistan and Bangladesh and India. So our both government, Gujarat Maritime Board, state government and Indian government are trying to fill that gap. So we can get maximum ship in our ship recycling gap. To achieve that, we removed 2.5 custom duty by our Indian state central government. The amendment made Admiralty bill for smooth recycling. Approved 50 lakh financial assistance to HKC compliance yard. That means they have given us around 50 crore rupees for assistance of HKC compliance yard. Ministry of Shipping passed Ship Recycling Act for implementation of HKC 2009. Government of India provided final assistance of 11 crore to construction of labor housing colony and 20 crore rupees to multi-speciality hospital. And the financial assistance of 49 crore rupees provided to HKC compliance board. Hold from FSDC fund also. This is fund, it is also accumulated by ship recycling. Of rupees 30 crore rupees fund provided for the training workers under the Sagarmala. This is the major step taken by our Indian government to boost the ship recycling. Ministry of Shipping, Government of India and Gujarat Maritime Board participated in EUSR summit held in Brussels to convince EU ship owners to send their vessel to HKC yard in Alak for recycling. This was the biggest step. In last month only our sir has been there in Brussels and they have taken a very keen action on that. So we have always welcomed our government for that. Ministry of Shipping and Waterways supporting the industry by amending the quality control order. I told you that we have a gap of $35. If this quality control order has been passed, then we can sell our material as a GMIS standard to the secondary industry. So one more, we can achieve $35 more from the ship owners, we can pay more. So this is also a very big step and I hope in next month our ship plate will be approved by the GMIS standard. So we will get that benefit from ship recycling. Our Ministry of Port and Waterways also working to amend a few clauses of Ship Recycling Code 2013. Ministry also reviewed the committee has also resolved the issue pertaining to custom, GBCP, ESIC and also finance related issues. This is the major steps taken by our central government. This is our state government and Gujarat Maritime Board has taken the steps to boost our industry. Constructed labor housing colony worth 24 crore rupees to accommodate 108 laborers on dormitory basis and ready to use. It is working from last 7 years. GMIS approved financial relief approximate 50 crore rupees in 2023 and 24 by reducing our charges and 26 crore rupees during COVID to the industry by various charges reducing their government. GMB also working to amend the some clauses of ship recycling regulation 2015, which is a little bit problem with our ship recycler to handle the work. GMB also doing exercise to allot a free and unused land in front of the yard to ship recycler to construct a labor house of colony and secondary yard. Because if we want to more upgrade, we need a more land. Because if you can see that in Pakistan and Bangladesh, their yard are very huge. So if you want to build some facility more to achieve this compliance, we need a more space. And we have a constraint with the space, so they will provide us a land in front of the yard so we can develop a facility over there. GMB also planning to merge the working post to accommodate larger ship. GMB also upgrading GMB multi-speciality hospital and developing trauma center, fully equipped operation theatre, burn squad, etc. as per the EU requirement. Work is progress and hope in this year it will be fully working in that. Also upgrading existing TSDF site and incinerator as per the EU requirement. Also locating new landfill site for future requirement. This is a major step we have taken. Our GMB has a consultation with all EU owners and all this our classification society as per their standard. We are upgrading our TSDF site now and very big, huge. Our another landfill site also we are locating. So next 50 or 70 years we don't need any landfill site for that now. Government India and GMB also making 4-track road from Trapach to Alang for easy transportation. Then we will get a best transport facility. Supply of gas through pipeline may be indicated in view of safety parameters. This has been taken step by GMB. My conclusion, we request send all end of ship life ship to Alang. We provide best price with quality performance. Open to visit all stakeholders. We are always accommodate and support. Recognize and accept the beaching process and safe, environmentally sound method of recycling, Hong Kong Convention 2009. Provide IHM with ready for recycling certificate starts now. Don't wait for 2025. With owners are come forward and start IHL, it will be very easy for ship recycling to locate the hazardous material. India at crossroad, rewards for ship improvement. Welcome to Break in India with HKC 2009 because 111, 90% yards are now HKC compliance. Shriya humbly request the EU recognize Indian yard as a yards here majority compliance to HKC as it is with the Turkey here within people by landing. The yard in Turkey are recognized by EU. Therefore, it is also expected and requested that Indian yards too get the EU level. This is our few pictures that how we are working in line. You can see that this is the working style. Now, this is the whole opening, like on-board cutting operation, cleaning the blocks before the cutting by the blocks. This is block cutting platform, impermeable floor. This is the block cutting the field, plot under the SRC 2030. And this is the plot. You can see the first we have SRC 2030 like this. Now our yards are like this. We are completely improving. Even though getting the HKC certification, then also we are doing our improving continuously. And this is our treatment plant, incinerator, secured landfill site. This is our GME training center. This is audiovisual training center, multi-speciality hospital. There's the expansion of this hospital is going on. This is labor housing colony. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Alan has grown in leaps and bounds in the last 4 decades. When we are talking about HKC, we are here when the ship recycling. India is already a ship recycling, major ship recycling country. I would like to thank the Gujarat government policies and the GMIS policies, which are very much commendable, and request other states to please take a note for these policies to be voted upon. I would also like to request Shri Ajit Sukumaranji, Chief Surveyor with Director General. He is the technical head for the National Authority of Ship Recycling to change the dias on behalf of the initiative. We have a very important guest here, Mr. Takeshi Tanushe from Class 10K. He was involved in the development of MPC guidelines for development of inventory of hazardous materials way back 16 years back. He's having experience for the last 20 years and a specialist in ship recycling activities. Sir, would like to give a presentation, please.
Thank you so much. My name is Takeshi Tanushe from Class 10K, Japan. This is a great honor for me to be invited to this very important event and get this presentation opportunity. This is my topic is HKC compliance for ship recycling. I'd like to explain